Getting to know your inner critic can make a massive difference to your life and to your mindful journey. So why do we need to bother? Why do we get to know our inner critic? Well, we all have an inner critic. It's that voice in our heads or the voice on our shoulder that usually isn't very helpful or very nice to us. In fact, it's usually damn right nasty. This is the voice that pipes up when you do something wrong, when you mess up, when you let yourself down, when you let someone else down. It's the voice that says you're useless, rubbish, worthless. Perhaps that you always do this, you're always messing up, you're always letting people down, you're never going to make anything. Now, the thing about all this inner critic, it's very personal to you. And so with mindfulness, as uncomfortable as it can seem, we want to get to know our inner critic. We want to get familiar with the tone it uses, with the words it uses in our heads and to us. What does it say? And the more you get to know that inner critic, the more you can learn to take a step back, to separate yourself from that voice. The more you're able to say, well, thanks for that, but I'm going to carry on and move on and get on with my day as is. Because the thing about the inner critic, we're so used to hearing it, we think it's true. We start to believe it. We think what it says, what it says is real. We think what it's telling us is helpful, but it's not. It really, really is not. So the more familiar you become, the more able you are to distance yourself from that inner critic. You can even imagine it like a really bad friend, like the worst friend you could imagine, the sort of friend that when you turn up looking fabulous says, "Oh, what are you wearing that for? It doesn't suit you." It's almost like getting familiar at that sort of level. And if you can start thinking of that inner voice as separate from you, it is much easier to say, hey, I'm not going to hang out with you. Thanks you for whatever you said, but I'm not going to listen to it. So over the coming weeks, practice checking in with your inner critic. When you do something really silly, like, I don't know, drop your phone on the floor or spill your drink, what sort of things spring up in your mind? When you do something perhaps a little bit more serious, something that makes you feel real guilt, what does your inner critic say then? Note those things down, get familiar with it, and start tuning into that inner critic. And it sounds counterproductive, but the more you tune in, the more easier it is to be able to tune out and get on with living in the present moment and not listening to that horrible voice in your head.